everyone, I wanted to do a little video this afternoon to talk about puppies and dogs jumping up at people, why they do that behaviour and what we can do to prevent that from continuing. So if we go back to our little puppy that we've just brought home at say 8-9 weeks, and they are jumping up at us because they want some form of attention. They could be wanting to play with our dangling hair, they might want to be biting our earlobes, they might want to lick our face because that's what they would do with their siblings and their mum. So, and obviously just wanting to get higher up to get into our face to get that attention from us. And as little tiny puppies, our natural thing is for them to have a cuddle as soon as they do that because they're very cute and we've just brought home this little puppy, or we've just seen a little puppy out in the woods and they've come to say hello and they've jumped on us, and that's fine because they're a tiny little puppy and they're really sweet and we give them that cuddle. The problem is that puppy gets older and it grows, and all of a sudden we've got an adult dog that is still continuing to jump up at humans. It could be that they're muddy and they're going to cover somebody's trousers in mud. It could be that they jump up at a child and knock them over. They could jump up at somebody that's vulnerable and hurt them. It's just a behaviour that we don't want to continue. So at the moment, as this tiny little puppy that's jumped up at us and we've picked them up and given them that lovely little cuddle, what we've done is we've reinforced that behaviour, which means that we've given them a reward for doing that behaviour, which has made the behaviour more likely to continue in the future. Absolutely fine when you're at home with a clean little 8 to 10 week old puppy that's not going to do anybody any harm, but that puppy is going to grow and get bigger. So we want to make sure we stop that behaviour as soon as possible. In an ideal world, we'd bring our new little puppy home and they would jump up at us and we would not allow that behaviour or reward it from the very start. However, they are very cute and they want a cuddle and they need that attention and affection from us. So invariably we're going to create this spiral of jumping up equals reward from the very start that they're home with us. So what we need to do is we need to go through a process of extinction to stop this behaviour from recurring and continuing into the future as they get older. So at the moment, we've just learned that when a puppy jumps up, we reward them. And that reward of a cuddle or food or play with a toy, whatever it is that the dog enjoys at the point that they're jumping up, is more likely to make the behaviour continue. By going through a process of extinction, we are going to stop that behaviour by stopping giving that reinforcer that the puppy enjoys that means that they continue to do the behaviour. So we need to go through a process of extinction. Now, when I go out and see a client and we talk about how we can stop a dog from jumping up, and I'll say, well, if the dog jumps at you, stand very still, maybe just have your eyes looking away from the puppy so they're not getting that eye contact reinforcer. Definitely don't push them down because that can be a game for a puppy or an adult dog. And we're definitely not going to use an aversive like shouting at them or any physical moving of them. We don't want to be frightening them and ruining the relationship that we have with our dogs. It can be quite hard for clients to see the benefits of this type of training when it isn't happening straight away. So I'll go and see a client and their dog, and the dog's jumping up and I'll ignore that puppy or dog while they're jumping up at me. And then once they get down, I then might call them over and then I'll get low onto the floor and I'll reward them for having all 4 feet on the floor. I might even ask them to sit and then reward them for sitting. So they're starting to learn that all of the reward comes from staying low rather than jumping up at the human. But the problem is there's a process with extinction and it does take time. So it might be that that puppy stops jumping up at me for that session, but then later on the owner pops out for 5 minutes, comes back in the room and the puppy jumps up again. And they're thinking, well, hang on, this hasn't worked. It's not that it isn't going to work, it's just that the process of extinction takes time. If we think about a human example of a vending machine full of chocolate bars, and we put our money in and we press the number that coordinates to that particular chocolate bar. And every time we've used it for the past 6 weeks, a chocolate bar has fired out as soon as we press number 3. So every time we go in, we put our money in, we press number 3 and we expect a chocolate bar to come out. If one day that chocolate bar didn't come out, this is where our process of extinction is starting. So we're putting our money in, we're pressing that number 3, expecting that chocolate bar to come out. Same as dog jumping up at our owner, expecting that cuddle. But that chocolate bar doesn't come out. We might press that button again, and we might keep pressing it, but nothing's happening, and we're getting a little bit frustrated. This is our, what we call an extinction burst. So it's where a behaviour almost gets more in frequency. The dog might even get quite stressed. We might get quite stressed because we're pressing number 3 and that chocolate bar still isn't coming out. And we're going to keep trying because it might suddenly just start working again. That owner might start giving us a cuddle like they have done all these other times. So we're going to keep trying. But that chocolate bar still doesn't come out. So we then might try something different. Now this is called an extinction-induced variable behaviour. So what we might start to do is bang the side of the vending machine. We might give it a shake just to see if that chocolate comes out, and it still doesn't. If we go back to our dog jumping up, that dog has been ignored for jumping up at their owner. The owner is not giving them any eye contact, speech, touch at all. That dog jumps up even more furiously. We've got an extinction burst. That dog might then decide to change tactics a little bit. Not only am I going to jump up, but I might even grab hold of your clothes as I do so, just to really try and get your attention. And nothing happens still. Eventually, that extinction burst and those behaviour variables will subside. And the dog will go, okay, well, I'm not getting anything for this. Much like we've got our vending machine, I have rattled this vending machine, I've pressed number 3, nothing is coming out, I give up, I'm going to walk away. And at the point that the dog is going to walk away, we might then call them back over, and we're then going to give them a cuddle for keeping all 4 feet on the floor. Okay. So if they're then going to get a reward for doing a different behaviour, so that different behaviour is either a sit or keeping all 4 feet down, they are going to be reinforced and rewarded with that instead, and that will make that behaviour more likely to continue. In the same way of my vending machine, I've given up with number 3. Number 3 doesn't give me anything anymore. I'm going to press number 4, and number 4 fires out a chocolate. Fantastic. So we've gone through a extinction process where I've given up with number 3, the same as the dog has given up jumping up. I've tried number 4 and it works. I'm going to continue to go back each day and press number 4 because I get my chocolate bar. The dog now has realised jumping up gets them nowhere. However, if I sit my bottom on the floor, that's where I get all of the attention, all of the reward and all of the praise. So that is a behaviour that I'm going to continue. And we need to make sure that this is repeated with every person that they meet, every interaction they have. They get nothing from this day forward for jumping up. They get the earth for sitting on their bottoms or for keeping all 4 feet on the floor. Okay, I hope that's helped everyone. Please leave any comments below if you'd like to, share away. And if you need any help with any of your training, I'm Ellen Davis from 4 Paws Dog Training. I'm a qualified dog trainer with the IMDT and I am based in Carmarthen. Thank you, bye.